Welcome to this exciting episode where the car is finally on the road and I discover it's much more fun to drive than to try and do bodywork. Looks like a dark winter's night, but actually it's about 4:30. The car is back from its MOT, it's now road legal, so in the morning we'll take it out for a blast.
A lovely sunny morning here in December, so I thought I'd take it out for a drive, get some feedback from the Joe Publics. Where better to go than to gatecrash Porsche GB's Christmas party? So, yeah. A few Porsches. They all seem to have the same front ends. Anyway, let's see if I can make it out of here alive.
It was funny, more questions about bore score and what it sounded like than the actual front end, but anyway, here you go. Listen.
Up there somewhere, it's a definite bore score.
As the car park filled up, there's lots of curiosity, lots of questions, but no one's willing to commit to going on video.
Well, back from the Porsche meet, that was quite a good day. Really pleased to see that most of the Porsche people liked what I'd done, or at least didn't hate it. They said they wouldn't do it to their own car, but they liked the idea, thought it was nice and unique. Only one sad comment saying, "How dare you customise the Porsche, blah blah blah," but everyone else was good. So, enjoyed that, and then a nice spirited drive back home, chasing a McLaren 720. Yeah, even with a ticky engine I could keep up.
One more car show video. I was parked up, the guy in the blue car was parked on the other side of the show. He actually drove over just to park next to me. Amused me. Before I start enjoying the car too much, I thought I'd better do an oil change. Don't know when it was last done, the engine's a bit ropey anyway. So some 1050, better leave it low and high temps, given the engine wear. Also, another new oil filter remover because the 6 I've got don't fit. Also treated myself to a large capacity, low line drip tray because it's like 9.5 litres of oil and the Porsche is pretty low. When I got under the Porsche, it's pretty nice. The oil cartridge is fairly obvious to see and the sump plug's just behind it. It's meant to be an Allen key fitting, but mine's obviously got a bolt in it. I'm just using the adjustable spanner to get the size of that, and then I'll use a socket to remove it. Okay, it's a 17mm socket, so we'll take that. Got the drip valve ready here. And it's cracked, right. That's better. And look, the oil drains, gosh, easy bit of Porsche maintenance. A lot of oil, 9.5 litres, so get a big drip tray. The cartridge removal is fairly straightforward if you don't buy cheap shit oil filter cartridge remover like I did. Mine just kept slipping off until I ended up tapping it on with a hammer. Put the new filter on, put the cover back on, put the pump plug back in and fill it back up with oil. Tickety boo, life's easy. Quick oil check after the change. It should come up low because we're pointing uphill on my bloody drive, which isn't level. So yeah, that's low. Not, well, middle low. So we're going to take it for a blast, one more through, come back. At some point I have to measure on the level, but I'm happy with that. Quick play after the oil change, everything's good. A bit of dirt in the car now, which time to sort this wing out. Shut lines down there. That alignment there. Fuel filler. And see about bringing that down a bit. I had to watch a few of my old videos to remind me how to do bodywork. Yeah, so Sharpie to mark out where there's excess material, that needs sanding off, filing off, shaping. Blue tape to mark out where I want to add material, so I can add it to the wing up against that blue tape to give it act as a former. So just pop the wing off, I said. Forgot, first you've got to jack the car up, put these wooden blocks under it to get it high enough to get that metal bar underneath. Once you've got the metal bar underneath, you can then slide the ramp underneath. Once you slide the ramp underneath, you can then jack the car up. I've got it level. Once you've got the car jacked up, you can take the wheel off. Once you've got the wheel off, you can get that little thing out. Once you've got that little thing out, you can get to the bolts, and then you can take the wing off. Oh, and then it starts raining, so you've got to cover your electrics over with some plastic bags. One thing it does show, though, I've already sort these wheel liners out, but I don't put the wheel liners in until I've got this finished, because that's another layer of shit to get off if I need to move the wing again. Anyway, I'm going in, it's raining. Back in the dry of the garage, we can see where I need to trim.
this is actually overhanging, so this needs building out from behind. What I think I'll do, I'll actually put a line of filler right the way down here, and then sand back as far as I can without going into the carbon. Oh, it's like a trip down memory lane. Heater pumping in the background, mixing up the filler, just getting ready to sand everything down. What joy.
The joys of an unheated garage in a British winter mean the epoxy filler never bloody goes off. Well, it does eventually, but it runs like this. I'm going to do this wing and then keep off trying to do bodywork for a while. I just need some more temperature. Anyway, here's front wing ready to sand.
Quick sand down and loose fit, and it's actually pretty damn good. Obviously, you make it level, get rid of the blue stuff. Pretty pleased with that. So for fuel cap, what I'm doing, I'm going to make a little lid in there. Then I'm going to bond that to a bit of carbon fibre and however I fix it to the fuel cap.
I just said don't try and do filler work in cold weather. This fell as well, obviously. Right, no more filler work until it warms up. If I can't play with body filler, I'll play with an angle grinder. When I looked at the car show video next to the real Blues DS, I saw how beaky mine looked, so I thought I'd better level the bonnet flat. So whack it with an angle grinder, and we now have a bonnet, which looks a bit like my little Matchbox model I've been using. And here you sit with the crow moustache. I wasn't going to do this originally, but I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. We'll see how we go with that one. Somewhere on the blast up to Brooklyn's, I lost my side repeater. Yeah, that needs more than number 8 tacky tape. There's wire dangling down. The unit itself is probably somewhere near Basingstoke. I need to create a proper clip-in solution for that. Freezing cold, but sunny morning, so I thought I'd start that side repeater. Suddenly realised that one side of the air dam and the other were different. One curves around nicely wheel, the other doesn't. So, as well as fitting the side repeater things, I'm going to shape those ends so they're the same.
And now it's got to shape. We're going to stick some kind of end cap on that, just to give it the return. So there's a nice piece of carbon on the end to make a nice end plate. Just wait for the epoxy to go off, which in this weather will take a while. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same I did there, here, and glue a plate to that.
Tempting as it was to get some filler and smooth that whole side out, I avoided that because it's too cold filler and decided to use the epoxy, which I can take indoors, to make the actual side repeater brackets, which was the start of this phase of this phase of this phase of this phase of this project.
Bit there that hooks, and then a spring clip there, so that will hook in and spring clip in, and then it'll be held firmly. I ended up creating this out of some carbon fibre I had lying around. Relatively thin, but reinforced here with a Marks and Spencer's bit of wood. And here we have the finished piece. So, base plate cut to fit the light, the sticky up bit with a bit of knife in there, bit of wood in there. There is the springy bit, that's on top to keep the light into position and to help that springy bit stay springy. Let's show it fitted. And there we have it in place. So that's nice and firm. I'm now going to get the whole of that mounted into there. Then, that side, I'm waiting for a new light to be delivered because there's one somewhere scattered along the M3.
Okay, I'm going to call it a wrap for this episode, so like, subscribe and all that fun. I'm going to wait for the nice weather to do the bodywork, but then hopefully next episode we'll have the air dam done, I'll get the wheel arch liners done, I'll get the fuel cap done, bonnet edges done, and then we're pretty close to done. Wow, it's been a journey. Yeah, like, subscribe, and watch the next episode. Cheers, guys.